Yay Media Group.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to Spill the Beans podcast.
We're the girls.
Today we have a very special episode because we have a guest. So we are so excited to present to you Caro.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, girl.
We're so
Thank
happy
you,
that you're
guys.
here. Thank you so much for coming here and for being here and being open to sharing your story with us.
Of course. I'm so thankful you guys are even giving me the platform to do so.
Oh, of
So,
course. We
yeah.
are so honored that you're here, and we're very excited to share you with our audience because I know that you have your own, and I know that they're going to be so excited to hear your story.
Yeah. I was like thinking about that today. I was like, not only do I get to share with my platform, but now it just opens it's chance to like share my story with like your platform, and it just helps more people and more people. So
Exactly. I feel like you're going to
That's
help
the
so
goal.
many. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Before we get started in today's episode, we do want to give a little content warning. We're going to be talking about SA, sexual assault, family trauma, and estrangement.
We're not going to share any identifying details or anything that could traumatize anyone or re-traumatize anyone. This conversation is really about one woman's experience of finding her voice, standing up for herself, and ultimately standing up for her sister.
period.
And herself.
Yes.
All right. So let's get started with who you are. Can you give us a
Yeah.
little bit of a background story on yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Carolina for more formality. Yeah, I'm like a small content creator on TikTok / Instagram. I'm a mom to 2 little girls. I'm 24 years old. Really just dilling and dallying through life, learning and trauma dumping and whatnot, but always with good intentions and with the hopes that by sharing, I like to think of myself as like a bigger sister to like other people because I am the bigger sister, so I didn't have that. So even with like my siblings, like I always strive to like learn from me, like learn from my mistakes, right? But they're kids, so they're gonna make mistakes too. So it's just like, again, my platforms are just for that. Like so I can be like the bigger sister you never had.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How did you get started on TikTok? I feel like TikTok is your main platform. Is that correct?
Yeah. So it was actually because I was pregnant with my oldest and I was on TikTok to learn everything about momhood, pumping, breastfeeding, whatever I needed to know. And I was like, well, if I like watching these videos, why am I not making these videos? So I started making pumping videos and I actually went viral. I went from like 1,000 followers to 94,000 followers from one pumping video
Oh
because
my
it got like
gosh.
2 million likes and it got like, I mean, millions of views, right? And then after that, I don't know, I stopped. I had like a little like bleep moment where, fell off, whatever, momhood.
Yeah.
And then I got back into it because I was like, wait, I kind of like lost myself there, but I'm still a girl. I still like makeup. So I started making makeup videos. And honestly, those weren't really like taking. And I realized that in my platform, I was more trying to sell my audience products and like, oh, you should buy this, look at it, like what it looks like on me. And then I realized, wait, I'm like the best product I could be selling, like myself.
Period.
So then I started. No, I used to look back at like other creators and how they would be like, get ready with me for this and that. And I started doing that, but I'm like, people don't even know who I am. Like, what are they going to care about? Like my day-to-day life, right? So then I was like, let me start trauma dumping. And I was like, you know what? So I started telling all kinds of stories. I've talked about how I don't talk to my dad, how I was like bullied in high school, like all kinds of things. And then people like started like commenting, like relating to me. And then they were like, oh, but what foundation are you using? Oh,
There
but
it
what
is.
lip combo do you have on? So then not only am I now like, I am the niche, but now I get to also like sell other products and like, not that I make any money off of it, but like,
Yet.
the point is,
Exactly.
manifesting.
Yes.
But the point is that like, I am who they're interested in seeing, not just what I have to like sell and whatnot. And one of the things that motivated me to even start just like opening more vulnerably, is that how you say it?
Yes.
To like my audience is I saw a post on Threads one time and it was like, we don't just want people to influence us to buy things. We want real human experiences. And I was like, well, I got a lot of those. So I just started dumping it all on TikTok.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how I am here now doing makeup and yapping it up on TikTok.
That is so amazing how you turned your passion into what was going to sell on TikTok, which is, wow, like you readjusted that so fast.
Yeah. And I just want to point out, like, even just like making money off of like, I don't know, brand deals or whatever, isn't even like the goal to me. It really is just fun to like have an audience that will genuinely like listen to you. Because, and it, like, to me, that's like, oh, you're here for me. But then I'm also giving back to you, like teaching you how I overcame this, how I was able to learn from this. And you know what? If you haven't made that mistake yet, let me tell you why you should never even attempt to make that mistake, right? Or like learn from my mistakes so you can think, maybe that's not the best idea. Or let me tell you how one of my mistakes was the best thing that happened to me, right?
Yes.
So yeah.
Yeah. Even just watching your content though, I feel it's so comforting. Even if there's something you're talking about that I don't relate to, it's really nice to just, I don't know, it's so comforting even if you're talking about like unfortunately trauma. Sometimes, you know, you're trauma dumping, but I feel like your content can be so comforting to watch. And it's just like, I don't know what another word is. Like, it feels like a hug, even if what you're talking about is not always a hug, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like it makes you feel more relatable too and like vulnerable. And it's like, oh, I'm not the only one going through this. Or, you know, people have had similar experiences to you. Maybe it didn't happen to them, but to their family. Yeah. So I feel like that's why you're getting so big or so much engagement into your videos now, because you're really just opening up like a big sister and letting us into your world, which is really nice.
Thank you.
I catch myself telling Nomi, be like, did you see Caro's video today?
Yeah.
Literally, that's how you have us. Yeah. And I think I did notice that switch from you just doing makeup to then doing story times while doing your makeup. And I read your comments and and they're like, oh, what's your lip combo? I'm like,
yeah. I feel like you got the perfect, the perfect formula down. And it's really good that you figured that out on your own, because sometimes it's hard, like even as content creators, to just know like, wait, this isn't working for me, so shift it. So the fact that you like were able to pinpoint that and do that, and obviously it's working for you, so go girl.
Yeah,
we're
and it's
rooting
fun.
For you.
Yeah, right.
I get to actually get excited about filming, and it's not like, oh, just another job.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? So when you find the fun in that, and then you can make a job out of that, it's nice. Yeah.
Do you have this is kind of a little bit off topic. Do you have a specific filming schedule, or do you just kind of film whenever?
No, I film whenever.
Same girl.
Honestly, I do take a lot of like mental health days, not because I'm like crashing out, but more because like after speaking on topics like this on my social media, especially now that I got a lot of backlash from like certain people, it's almost like because I know I come on social media and a lot of people even compliment me on like how articulate I am with my words. And I guess that's the perks of like spending a lot of time in your mind, that you like constantly, or I guess a perk of being an overthinker. You like are constantly like thinking about a situation until you like, you know what? I like piece it perfectly to how I need to share it. So I articulate my words. And yes, I can come off as like, oh my gosh, she's so well articulated and like delivers the message perfectly. But it's like, it's still overwhelming. Like at the end of the day, like I'm still like, I post a video, it's out there in the world. And one, I'm like not spiraling, but like one, it's really upsetting to see how many people like go through this, how many people relate to this that are like shamed or like victim blamed. And I'm just like, oh, like, I don't know. I'm such an empath that I feel for people so much. And it's like, it just sucks to know that like what I've been through, what my family has been through, like other people have been through. And then dealing with like backlash is like, okay, like I'm putting on this brave face, but at the end of the day, I'm still scared. Like I'm still human, you know? So I take my little breaks here and there, and then I'm like, I'm back.
That is so self-aware of you to be like, I need a mental health break. Like this was too heavy. Yeah. And that is awesome. I'm so proud of you for opening up and then saying like, I do need to take a break after this, you know? Yeah. I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, I just talked about it and I feel bad. Like this shouldn't I feel so relieved? But sometimes that's not the reality. Yeah.
Okay, random question, but do you feel like blinds are one of those things in your house that you look at and you're like, why have I been living like this?
Yes, and then you decide you want new ones and then realize you have to measure everything.
Exactly, and I'm not doing all of that, which is why I love the idea of 3-day blinds, because they actually come to you.
Wait, so you don't have to go somewhere and figure it all out by yourself?
No. 3-day blinds has local, professionally trained design consultants who can come to your home and help you figure out what actually works for your space. The consultants have an average of over 10 years of experience and can get you a free, no obligation quote that same day.
Okay, because I need someone to just tell me what looks good.
Same. And 3-Day Blinds does the measuring and installation too. So they're designing it, measuring it, installing it, and I'm just there to approve it.
As it should be.
Sounds just like you. And we're talking custom window treatments. They have thousands of options for different styles and budgets, blinds, shades, shutters, drapery, etc.
Wait, don't they have automatic blinds too?
Yeah, they have motorized and smart blinds that can even work with Alexa.
Okay, saying Alexa, open the blinds from my bed sounds like a new level of lazy I'm ready to unlock.
No, that's luxury. And 3-Day Blinds has been around for over 45 years and have helped over 2 million people with their window treatments. So they know what they're doing.
Okay, give them the deal.
Right now, get quality window treatments that fit your budget with 3-Day Blinds. Head to 3dayblinds.com/spillthebeans for their buy one get one 50% off deal off custom blinds, shades, and drapery for a free, no charge, no obligation consultation. Just head to 3dayblinds.com/spillthebeans. One last time, that's buy one get one 50% off when you head to the number 3DAY blinds.com/spillthebeans. Talk about heavy things. Sometimes it still says heavy on you.
Yeah, it almost, I thought about it and it's almost like I'm helping people at like the expense of what, but I'm like, no, like that doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, like I'm so glad that I've gone through this to help people like prevent their children from going through this.
Absolutely.
Or heal from going through something like this, right? And it's like, yes, it's vulnerable, and it's crazy when I think about like people in my town watching these videos. But when I'm filming these videos, I'm not thinking about them. I'm thinking about the people who are going to watch this and learn something from that. And that's like, that defeats any other doubt that I like have in the back of my mind. I recently posted a video, like my, like, not today's video, but yeah, like recently. And I was so mad because my family used to fat shame me. And like my tia's like, you know, bigger or whatever.
Goodness.
I wasn't going to post it because I was like, no, I'm going to get so canceled. I was like, no, it's true. Like, why is a fat person judging me for being fat? If we're both fat, you know? So then I told my sister, I was like, dude, should I post this? Like the morning of. She goes, no, you're going to get canceled. I posted, it has 156,000 likes now. I'm like, you're your only obstacle. Like, don't care what anyone else is, even you. Like, ignore that little voice in your head and just post the video.
But I feel like it's so relatable because I feel like we all grew up with our tias bullying us in some way or another, you know? So it's like so relatable. Like, yeah, if you're doing the same thing, why are you shaming me for doing what you're doing?
Not only that, but like, if you're not doing anything to lose weight, why are you holding me accountable for not losing weight? Like, doesn't click.
Clock them, baby.
Anyways, yeah, not fat shaming. I'm just saying, like, we can be fat together and happy.
We can all be one big happy family. Okay. We're going to get a little carried away.
Don't cancel me.
No, this is a judge-free zone.
Yes, it's just a safe space.
You can say whatever you want, whatever's on your
This
mind.
is no canceling allowed zone.
Yeah, this is where you spill the beans and don't
Unhinged.
get canceled for it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's literally the title. Spill the beans.
Exactly.
Spill them beans.
Oh my God, you're making my day. So let's reel it back in a little bit. I'm gonna go off of your recent videos that have gotten a lot of traction, and I just wanted to ask you what made you decide to talk about such a vulnerable topic that can be a little like overshadowed in the Hispanic culture?
Yeah, so years back, once upon a time in 2022, there was this trend going around that was like reasons why. Let me tell you why you shouldn't let your children have sleepovers, right? And I was like, wait, hold on. Because it's not just sleepovers. It can happen under your own roof. And it was the topic of SA. Can I say that?
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
Good.
Like, it's your platform, babe.
You can say whatever you want.
And the reason that I share that story is because my little sister was SA when she was 9 years old. And that was like one of the most loneliest, traumatic like things that I've ever like dealt with. My mom, my siblings, of course. Basically, we stood up for her and like our whole family cut us off. It was them just standing up for the predator and worrying about his future and whatnot. And it was really infuriating because we're like, okay, but what about the victim? What about my sister? Right? And in that moment, obviously, when you're going through something like that, it feels like you're one alone, and two, like you don't have a voice, right? And when people are like gaslighting you into thinking like, you know what, like you're wrong, like you're this and that, you can start thinking like, am I wrong? Like, even though you know you're right, right? So with this trend, I was like, wait, let me make a video about this. And I really overthought about it. I was like, like, what are they going to say? What are they going to think? Like, this is really going to ruffle some feathers. And I was like, no. I was like, this is like getting the voice that they took from us, that they wanted to take from us. This is us sharing our story, even if it's not us telling, because it was like a smear campaign against me and my mom for standing up for my sister. And I was like, maybe I'm not sitting in front of these people directly and saying, proving to them like how everything happened, but I get to go in an audience and share awareness about this experience and say, hey, open your eyes. It can happen in your family. And not only that, but it can be like child on child essay. And that's even more dangerous because they don't see anything wrong with it.
Exactly.
So what happens when they don't see anything wrong with it? It just carries on and you don't know who else it can happen to, right? Because these children are being corrected. So I shared my story and that video got like 100,000 likes too. And I was like, well, okay. So it's basically like right now everything going on is like deja vu almost, but like a real deja vu because it's literally like repeating itself. And I remember people were calling like someone close to us, tell them to take that video down. Why are they posting this? I was like, no, because you don't get to sweep things under the rug. Because that's, and I know people didn't like that I was generalizing it to like just Latinos. I'm sorry, like I am Latina. Like that is the culture that I grew up in. It's what I can just speak for every other culture, right? So a lot of people agreed with me in my comments, like, Latinos do that. They sweep things under the rug. I'm like, no, girl, we're going to be the black sheep. We're going to call them out and it's going to come at a great cost. Your family.
Exactly.
Like if they don't agree with you, they're going to cut you off. And so, yeah, so I made those videos back then and they did it really good. And recently I was like, you know what? Let me ruffle feathers again. So I started posting my videos again. But this time it was about my essay story, which I hadn't spoken to anyone about. Nobody knew. So right now it's like, oh, she's making it up. Oh, she's lying. Oh, it's just to get famous, like off of like fake stories. So it's been a wild ride.
That is, wow.
Yeah.
I'm speechless.
I'm speechless.
Yeah.
I know. Like, also, by the way, you were so well spoken.
Yes. I'm like,
You
wow.
really articulate your thoughts
You
very
do.
well.
It's the ADHD in me. It's
just happens.
Going.
I do have a question.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
before you posted your first video, were you already on good terms with your family, or were you
No.
not? Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, recently or back then?
The first video about your sister.
No, we
Oh,
were
you
still
didn't.
not on speaking
Okay.
terms.
Okay.
But they knew people that we knew. So they were like, tell him to take it down. Tell him like, this is not okay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and what are you going to do about it? Like,
Yeah. Well, first of all, I do want to thank you for sharing that and being so open and vulnerable with us. I know that it's like, I wouldn't say it's re-traumatizing, but I know that it feels heavy to reopen all of that you haven't talked about in years. But also, I just want to say how proud of you I am for not only standing up for your sister and then for yourself, but for not caring about ruffling feathers when you know that it's going to do more good than bad.
Yeah.
You know, and essentially, who is it doing bad for? Is it the predator or the victim? You know.
yeah.
So yeah, I'm really proud of you and thank you for sharing
Thank
that
you.
with us.
Yeah. No, that's good that you mentioned that because there's a saying like, or I don't even know the saying, girl. Why am I even going to say it? It's like, I could keep the peace, but whose peace am I keeping?
Exactly.
Right?
At what cost?
At what cost?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and honestly, the most traumatizing thing out of everything was seeing my mom cry every single night for months.
Wow.
Because, I mean, she lost family. You know, people stopped talking to her. And she was like, the love for my daughter is greater than like any of that, but it still hurts.
Right.
You know, these are still
Absolutely.
people like we would see every weekend, like even during the week. So it's not an easy decision, but it's also one that like is, how do you say, like, es un costo que mereces, o sea, que vale la pena pagar.
Exactly.
Like it's, you know what,
It is.
I'm going to lose it, but it's worth it.
And that's a mother's love.
Exactly. And that
Yeah.
is so amazing that your mom was like, I don't care about losing all these relationships when I'm caring more about my daughter and her story.
Yeah.
That is
Oh.
amazing.
And what breaks my heart even more is how many people have gone through some sort of SA and their mothers didn't believe them.
Exactly.
Their mothers turned a blind eye or no, you're lying. And it's like, even if they are lying, one of the things my mom always said was, I don't care if she's lying. It's my job as her mother to believe her when she makes such a strong statement like that.
Exactly.
And she supported her. She's like, if she's lying, like, I don't care. The forensic, because my sister went through forensic interviews. Like, she was interviewed by like 3 forensic psychologists to determine if she was lying. And her story always remained the same. And she was like, it's just my job as her mom to support her. If she's lying, she'll face consequences. And if she's not, at least like she knew that I was always there for her.
Wow.
That gave me
What
chills.
an
I just
amazing-
want you to know that I feel like crying right now.
Yeah.
Because it is so in Hispanic, like you said, obviously this
Yeah.
is our experience because all of us are Hispanic. So the
Exactly.
fact that people are telling you like
Mhm.
speak on other ethnicities or other,
Yeah.
you can't because we're Latinos, we're Hispanics.
Yeah.
And the fact, the way that this happens so much, I feel like I know, and I like either you know or you've experienced the same thing about toxicity in families, and especially with SA, like you said, sweeping under the rug. And it is so I don't know what the word is. It's so empowering of you to be able to speak about it because that even if nobody else talks about it, they feel valued, they feel validated.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here. I really am. I really like that gave me chills. I'm like, yeah, and thank God that your mom is that way because
Exactly.
como dijiste
Yeah.
tú, there might be other family members, other mothers that
Mhm.
might not want to quote unquote ruffle the feathers, might want to keep the peace. And it's
Yeah.
like, okay, but what about your relationship with your daughter? Like to me, at least,
Yeah.
the most important relationship, one of the most important relationships in my life is my relationship with my daughters
Yeah.
or any future daughters, my daughter or any future kids, you
Yeah.
know, I feel
Yeah.
like that's
It becomes
everything.
before anything. Even after I had
Absolutely.
our daughters, well, after we had our daughters, I've told my fiance, before it was just me and you, but now I hope you know it's them before you. I love you, but at the forefront always is going to be their well-being no matter what. I'm like I've told him, I was like, honestly, if there's a point where you think I'm like doing something wrong with our daughters, you need to call me out on it. Hey, like, because it's their well-being. And same with you. Hey, I don't like how you're doing this. And it's always our kids.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and if I can do that with you, and I can deal with anybody else. Like if you're harming my children, I do not care.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah. So
Point blank,
Yeah.
period. Yeah.
could have claps for my mom. Whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Shout out to your mom. If this is too much information, please feel free to say.
No, yeah,
but
you're good.
I did want to ask, when that decision came, was it hard for you to feel misunderstood by your family? And instead of them coming together and being like, we're going to believe her and like investigate more or question or like
Yeah.
kind of have a family meeting and be like, this is what happened and we believe you and let's go ahead and see what the outcome is.
It's really crazy. I'm glad you asked that because her predator, her abuser, confirmed in front of me, my mom, and 2 other family
Oh
members.
my goodness.
And I mean, when my sister told my mom, first thing we did was call people over and say, no, I'm not going to say that. It's too generalized. First thing we did was have like a family meeting with some other people involved. And we literally made him stand in front of us and we're like, did you do this? He was like, do what? Did you do this? Like, do what? And someone else asked him, have you done it before or is this the first time? Right away. It's the first time. Right away. And I was like, because someone messaged me privately and they're like, hey girl, like I want to ask how the whole court process went. Like, how was it? We were not going to have a case at all. It sucks, but unfortunately, it's like the justice system is built against like victims. We weren't going to have a case at all if it hadn't been for that meeting. 4 of us heard him confess and the detectives were like, we need you, like, you know, we need one of those other 2 people to confirm that they heard that. Because you guys can, you and your mom can, because I mean, you're biased, right? They mic'd us up, made us go and confront him. And the detectives were somewhere else waiting. We go and we confront him and he wouldn't fess up, whatever, right? We take his phone. And because my mom was paying for his phone at that time. So we take his phone and we leave, whatever, couldn't get a confession off of him. I go through his phone. All I see is messages from family members. Are you okay? Because they knew we were there. They had cameras, so everyone knew already we were there to confront the poor guy. Are you okay, mijo? Are you okay, mi niño? As soon as I seen those messages, I went on Facebook, Instagram, everywhere. I blocked every single person. I was like, how dare you guys message him and ask him if he's okay? And no one has reached out to check on my mom or my sister. It was such, because I know it's really hard to like think about like cutting off family, but I was infuriated. And that was my like push. That was my motive. Like, I'm not going to wait to calm down and think things twice. No, like I was mad enough to where I was like, F you guys. And I blocked everyone.
Wow.
Cause how, like, yeah, how, like, it's like, how do you say it? Like, it's like, que cínicos. Like,
It
it's
feels like a
insane.
How dare you.
betrayal.
A betrayal, yeah.
Right.
And so, yeah, so because whatever, right? We detectives were like, you need to go talk to one of them. And like, they're the type that they will not lie to you. Go. Because the detective showed up to their house with cop cars and everything. He was like, you need to tell me right now if you heard him say that or not. That person was like, I did. Took him to jail right then and there. That was the only reason we had a case.
Wow.
Or else we would not have had anything on him. And we would, and people might be like, no, when I made that video, people would comment, why would you even give him a chance to talk? I would have beat him up right then and there. I'm like, because that meeting right there is what gave us a case, is what made us get some sense of justice for my little sister. Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, it didn't really feel like betrayal. No, it didn't feel like it was an eye-opening experience.
Absolutely.
It was like, I am so thankful that like you showed me who you are and what you're capable of doing, like what you're capable of hiding and defending. So yeah, it sucks, but it's also like you have to be mad enough about certain situations to open your eyes and realize, you know what, like it sucks, but I am so glad that you are not part of my life anymore.
Wow.
Yeah,
That takes a lot of courage.
It does.
Yeah, you have. I know a lot of people say like, don't lead with anger, like be forgiving, but it's also like sometimes you do need that anger to
Exactly.
push you
In
to do
these
those hard things.
situations, absolutely.
Yeah, in these situations, girl, not everything.
I'm like,
Yeah.
maybe everything, but especially in these ones.
Yeah,
Wow. Thank you for sharing that with us.
yeah, of course.
A quick question off of that. Did those family members on the other side ever show their support towards your sister?
No.
Or was it always just like, is he okay? Like,
Never.
wow, okay.
Never. Yeah. And so the funny thing is, because I'm gonna start crying. Just kidding.
It's okay.
Um,
You absolutely
baby.
can.
No, let me
Take
take
your
a minute.
time.
Hold on.
Yeah, take your time. We're here for you.
I just have to hold it together.
You don't have to. And you don't
Oh,
have
girl,
to talk
no.
about anything
No.
if
Yeah.
you don't
Start
want to
sobbing.
as well.
Yeah.
Well, no. Okay, so because of this, because of what happened to my sister, and I've talked about this on my platform, but my memory of my essay unlocked, and it was like, oh my goodness, like I was like, oh my gosh, wait, like what the heck is happening, right? And the biggest thing with that is that I had to keep it together. I had to like, because my mom was dealing with this with my sister, and I was like, I cannot tell her this because it'll break her. So I really did deal with this like on my own. And again, this happened 2022. And barely just now I'm like speaking about it like loudly. So like again, I sit in front of the camera and it's like a lot of courage. But those 2 years, well, 4 now, it was like hell. Like it was like a lot going on. And now I didn't only think about my mom, but I thought like, okay, wait. Because with my essay, it happened when I was like 5 years old. And I would always think like, what's the point of even talking about it now? You know, like it's been years, like what good is it going to do basically, right? So I dealt with it on my own, and my poor honey bunches. Okay, TMI girl, okay, but spill the beans, whatever.
Exactly.
We didn't have any intimacy for a year because I couldn't. I was like, I feel so disgusted. Like my perception of intimacy is this thing of like, one, what happened to my sister, and then two, I'm like remembering what happened to me, and he'd never like made me feel bad about it. He was always like, no, babe, it's okay. Like, we're not going to do anything. Like, I'll just cuddle you, whatever. Right.
Wow.
And I didn't like any form of touch. He would like rub his feet with me, play footsies or whatever, like get away from me. I just couldn't. And me sharing my story on social media, right, to these other family members is like, oh, she's being problematic, oh, this and that. And I'm just like, you don't know how much like people go through. My sister, like, pleno verano, wearing hoodies in elementary school, because she was like, I just don't want any boys staring at me. Like, I don't want this or nothing. Like, it's the way it just like affects you. People who aren't able to understand that at a deeper level are just either ignorant or literally like don't have the courage or even mental capacity to understand like or accept that like, wait, this is a lot deeper than just like a story for attention. So Anyway, because of my sister, like her experience and all that, I became aware of what happened to me. And even then, sometimes I'm like, but did it happen? Like, right? And I'm like, dude, I remember like every time it happened. Like, I remember the details. Like, I remember where I was at, like how it happened. And it's like, as much as I want to deny it, it's like, and what's insane too, like something am I going way too off topic?
No.
Okay.
You are perfect.
So I've also been open about this, but I attempted twice when I was really young. And I attempted after I lost my virginity. And I didn't know why. I was so like, I literally like, I have anxiety, ADHD. Back then I was like clinically depressed and nobody understood why. I had so many reasons, like all this and that. And when I remember my essay experience, it was like an eye-opening experience. I was like, dude, my brain isn't like so messed up for no reason. Like there's so many reasons why I am the way that I am. And it's because I suffered this trauma, not once, but from my recollection, at least like a whole summer. Oh my gosh. And it's like, if my brain blocked that out, like it was like a success to my brain. Like, good, we blocked this out, but it couldn't protect me from the effects it had on my brain, the effects it had on everything else, right? So my point with losing my virginity is that it was like a defeat to my brain. It was like the one thing we were protecting you from, which is like, I guess, I don't even want to say intimacy because being I said is not intimate, right? Mm-hmm. But what to me was meant to be an intimate moment, to my body was like, we are protecting you from this. Like, we don't want you to know this. Right. And it was like, it sucked to remember, but it was the biggest puzzle piece that I needed to like why I am the way that I am. And it's like, it wasn't my fault and it wasn't my mom's fault. And I put my mom through hell. I literally blamed like my depression on her because I became depressed after that. I was so depressed and it was just, I didn't understand the why. And yeah, it was like, it sucks, but I'm grateful for the memory too. Yeah. That's a lot, girl.
Yeah, and thank you for sharing that with us. Wow.
I'm trying to line up the mood.
No, please, girl, that's our job. You do what you gotta do. That is, I'm so sorry. Like, I have no words other than I'm so sorry.
Thank you. I'm so sorry that you had to go through that. And it's like you say that even though it's a terrible puzzle piece to unlock, it's also, it brings more closure to something that you have been dealing with since it happened that you had no idea about.
Yeah. Well, and I was not only that, but I've even spoken about this and I can't even tell you, I was so, can I say the word hypersexual?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Whatever
it's YouTube. Oh, okay. Sorry. I was so hypersexual growing up and I never understood why. And I felt so gross. I was like, why am I interested in these things? Like, this isn't normal. But I was still interested in that. And again, it solved all that stuff. Like, it solved why I was that way. And when I opened up about that, I was so scared to share that video on TikTok. And then I got DM after DM after DM. I get like 20 DMs of people telling me how they feel seen because they are that way too, or they were that way. And they never understood why, and they felt disgusted with themselves. So on one hand, when I was younger, I was interested in this stuff and I felt disgusted with myself. And on the other hand, now as an adult, because I remember what happened to me, I'm still disgusted with myself, but now I hate that stuff. Now I hate anything to do with that stuff, right? And it's just, again, it's so many things that go on in your brain and things that happen that people don't understand. And they're so quick to say like, well, why are you talking about it now? And it's like, because what happened then affected my whole life trajectory. Like, it affected the way my brain processed things, did things, thought about things, my perception on things.
Right. Yeah, it's like it affected your brain chemistry.
Yeah.
It's also your story. If you feel like you want to talk about it now, that's on you. It's nobody else's experience to tell but your own.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I don't know how that doesn't make sense to somebody. Like, why would they question you?
What's crazy is a lot of people don't ever build the courage to speak about it. And that's okay, right? Yeah. Because you process it the way you want to process it and you deal with it the way that fits best, right? I mean, I myself am very antisocial, so I don't care if I see anyone. So I'm just like, if people I know hear the story, like, what, I can't, never gonna see them, right? It's literally just me and my camera. Like, let's talk about it. But I basically lost the biggest thing that I was scared to lose, which was my family. And I was like, so what now? Now I'm gonna do good with it, and I'm gonna help you process your traumas too.
Wow.
Or at least I can hope so.
And imagine if you got 20 DMs telling people how much it helped them. Imagine how many people didn't message you, and you're still touching through the screen, and you're still able to
20 DMs, like 200 comments,
right.
And still, like, again, how many people didn't message, but they
out.
still like silently liked it and thought, you know what, I feel seen.
Yep.
And I love what you said earlier about you giving a voice that was once taken from you, which is amazing. And I love that you said that, like, I already lost something that was so important to me. So what? There's nothing more to lose. Now you're using it to help others. Yeah. And that is very inspiring.
Yeah. And I've always said, like, I'm not doing it on there to like gain something back, you know, or like the attention. Again, my goal is always to give, and then people connect. And then, you know what? Now you're here for the whatever else journey I got going on. And yeah, I can only hope that they also continue to share the good stuff. And
I did want to ask, were you able to figure out everything on your own, or did you go to any type of therapy to help you? Because obviously it seems like you're very self-aware, and you kind of just seem like you put the puzzle pieces together.
Yeah. So the only therapy I've ever done is as a young person, as a teenager. And I was in therapy for like a whole year. And I would say, again, it didn't help, right? I didn't fucking know I was crazy, like, you know, mentally deranged. Guys, really like dark humor. Hello, I'm sorry. Like aren't we all? No, but as an adult, the only thing that is stopping me from doing therapy, and I'll get there one day, is possibly unlocking anything worse. Or anything that's still, because I remember like bits and pieces, but enough to put it together. And now with children, I don't ever want to have to go through that and then possibly, you know, unlock something. Or because, again, I've been clinically depressed before. Like, I attempted twice. Like, I was in such a dark place. I don't ever want to go back to that place with children now. And I know that, like, you know, I'll get there one day. I'm not going to put it off forever. But right now that my, like, baby girls are, like, little, I want to make sure that, like, I do it in a point where, like, they don't need me so much, right? They're always going to need me as a mom, but just in a point where they're more independent, you know, they're playing more independently, like, together and whatnot. Because I'm like, what if I'm in a point where I'm so depressed, all I can do is sit on the couch and cry?
Right.
And I feel like I'm just I've been able to process it enough on my own that I can continue, like, it's not that I'm still processing it. Like, I've processed it and I'm talking about it, right? It's just, I want to put a pause to all the, like, undiscovering trauma, and then I'll, like, resume later.
Right.
But for now, it's like, I've dealt with enough trauma in my life that, like, I just want, like, a little, like, space moment for now, a little break. Yeah, right. But I'll get there. I'm not putting off therapy.
And that's so self-aware of you, being like, right now is not the time to keep digging into it because your children are so little.
Yeah, I literally, like, I've had to, I've talked about this before, but I was, like, mad at God one time. Like, I was so pissed because I was like, bruh, like, I've tried attempting twice and it didn't work. Like, either you help me or, like, what are we going to do? Because if I already tried on my own and you're not going to, like, echarme la mano, you know, or whatever, like, then freaking help me, like, I guess, deal with life. And I kid you not, I went to Ross and I saw a friend, like, after, like, all this, right? And this was me, like, sitting on my bed crying in the dark, just talking to God. And I went to Ross and there was this, like, picture frame. And it was so perfect because it literally said, like, I asked God for strength and he gave me, like, obstacles to overcome. I literally bought it and, like, hung it up in my room. At, like, 15 years old, I, like, found God. Like, that's how people have asked me, like, how did you find God? And I'm like, girl, I had no option. Like, I literally, like, my last resort. Which, like, now to me, like, it is, like, it's the first thing. Like, the first person I go to, right? It's like God, but yeah.
That is so much, and thank you for sharing that with us.
Of course, no. You guys are just
so brave.
No, I'm speechless. You're just
your
story is incredible.
It is
so. I'm obviously, like, we're so sad and we're so
absolutely
feel so bad. Not feel so bad, but you know that you had to go through this, but thank you for sharing all of this. Like, you don't know what this is going to do for so many people.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I can only hope that like someone watching, I mean, just sees this as like, okay, I can do it too. Like it may seem like the world is ending and falling on top of me, but like there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
Right?
Yeah.
That was so beautiful.
I know. Thank you.
And I do think when you brought God into the conversation, that's why he kept you here, because he knew that you were going to help so many people.
Yeah.
You know, and
No,
I feel like
yeah.
you didn't even know that either until now. You're like, oh my God, like all your videos are getting so much traction, and it's because everyone's relating to you.
Yeah. And it sucks how many people relate, you know,
Absolutely.
but still, like, I'm glad that so many people that can relate are watching that and are able to see, like, we can make it out of this. And it may be lonely, but the top always is.
Oh my goodness.
Not to put myself on a high horse, but
I don't think it's putting yourself on a high horse. It's just seeing how your testimony is basically showing that if you are, it's so scary to be brave, to speak, to be someone's voice. But when you are, like, the reward is much bigger than keeping the peace. You know?
By the top, I don't necessarily mean like a lot of people like put like the top and like materialistic things together. The top also means just being more compassionate than someone else, being able to sympathize with someone else, being able to sympathize with people more than someone else, right? And being able to just have a more emotional capacity for, I guess, like, how do you say it? Like, brain fart. Like, better emotional intelligence than someone else, right? Because, yes, like, it feels lonely, but I would much rather be lonely in this position in my life than ever have the same mindset as anyone who thinks that defending a predator is okay.
Absolutely.
The top can also be, the way I see it, is you and your life overcoming all of this. Like, you're at the top of everything. Like, obviously you're still, you know, working through things, but the top can be you overcoming your traumas, and you don't need anybody else to come with you. If nobody else wants to come with you, then you got to do it on your own. And you did.
Yeah, and even being at peace with yourself and your decision to talk about this.
Yeah.
In your family dynamic, I know that you cut them all off, but have you heard, I guess, just like the stereotypical, like, oh, she broke up the family, like it's her fault, instead of being like, oh, the predators, who's at fault? Yeah.
And you know, the funny thing is, I was never planning on talking on my story ever, because again, I was in the mindset of like, dude, it happened when you were 5 years old. Like, what's the point now? But it wasn't until my abuser, I learned that they were like telling people the things I said, and just like this smear campaign. And did I say right? Smear campaign? Yeah. And I was like, what the hell? Like, oh, heck no. I was like, well, first of all, I know what you did to me, and you know what you did to me. Second of all, like, the family was like pissed at me, and I messaged my abuser. I was like, first of all, if you're gonna go around telling people that I said this and that or talking bad about me, how about you also tell them what you did to me when I was 5 years old? And I sent them a long message, and they ignored it. And of course, the family found out about the message. And I messaged another family member, and I was like, whatever, I wouldn't message them. And then they replied, and why are you saying that about that person now? All because you're mad? I was like insinuating that I was like making it up. And what sucks, the biggest like heartbreak is that it's the people you thought would like believe you.
Exactly.
You know? And I told him, you're dead to me. I blocked him. I was like, all right, then you're not going to hear me out. You know who will? TikTok.
My audience.
And I was pissed. I was furious because I was like, no, you're not going to sit there and get all this like support and play the poor me victim card. And people assume that I'm lying to make you look bad. I'm not lying. I have like, I have the recollection of events. Like, I'm not, you know, and so I went on TikTok and just, you know, talked about it. And again, people relating. Happened to me when I was little, like, you know, this and that. And it sucks. But at the end of the day, again, it's like a price worth paying. Like, oh, there it is. It came to me.
Yeah.
I guess, I was like, es un costo que vale la pena pagar. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a price worth to
English
pay.
is all our second language.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Every episode.
Every episode.
I'm finding it. Found it.
Oh
But
my gosh. Aside from like how deep and of course traumatic your story is,
yeah.
the attitude you have towards it is amazing. Like
Yeah.
the fact that you're sitting here making us laugh
Literally
while telling
Comforting
your
us
trauma.
about your story is crazy.
It's okay, baby. I've been through it.
Wow.
Let me hold your hand.
And
It's like,
this
"I'm
is
alright."
and this is why it's so important for you to keep your voice. And I love that you're so confident in the fact that nobody's going to take it away from me again. Like I'm older now and I'm confident in myself now. And I think that is very inspiring is to
Yeah.
just keep your voice even if you ruffle the feathers.
Well, and they try to take it away.
Can you open up about that and kind of explain to us if others haven't watched your TikTok?
Yeah. So because I went on TikTok and shared about this, they know I'm not lying. They know I'm not lying because there's proof.
Right.
And I got this proof in my hands. And so on a Saturday, some family member decided to make a story about literally trying to take my credibility away, right? Because when people can't take your voice and they can't shut you up, they try to take your credibility. They try to paint you as, oh, she's this, she's that, she's lying. And it's just, again, a smear campaign. And I was like, oh, you're not about to do that. Because it was this whole post about she sits behind her vanity and makes up lies for attention and one. And I'm like, no, baby. So I made a counter post to that. And I went off on what proof I had. And basically it's, I don't know if I can say it.
Just say what you say what
Say what
you're
you
comfortable
think,
saying.
yeah.
Yeah.
It essentially is just proof that they've seen that they know I have. That is why they call the cops on me. Not because they think I'm lying about my story. It's because they don't want this proof getting out and people learning that what I'm saying has validity to it. And so Monday, I get a call from a police officer. And I was so scared. I was driving. And I honestly thought it was a scam call because it had no caller ID. I hung up on it twice. I was like, girl, don't be bothering me right now.
Nobody's scamming me today.
It was like 5 p.m. And I answer and they're like, yeah, it's a police department. I was like, oh my gosh. He's like, we've been made aware of some social media posts going on. He's like, but I want to get your side of the story on it. I was like, oh, I trauma dumped on the poor officer.
You're like, you got time?
How long do you have?
I was like, listen, recently I told my family that I was essayed and they don't believe me. And because they didn't believe me, I went to my platform. I was like, I have a lot of people who are relating to my story. And they're like, they're learning from this. Like they're benefiting off of this. And that is my goal, to help people. I'm not here trying to be vindictive. Like it really is just my platform and I find comfort in it and people find comfort in my videos. He was like, okay. And he goes on to tell me, well, I just want to inform you. Oh, I was like, listen, I thought about going with the law and doing a report, but it didn't happen here. It happened in Mexico. And he goes, I just hope you know that there's no statute of limitations. And even if it happened in Mexico, you can make a report here and make one in Mexico. Wow. And that person will be held accountable here and in Mexico when they decide to go back again. And that is something I didn't know. That is something a lot of my followers didn't know. Literally, when I tell you, I was crashing out. I was like, let me make a video right now.
I saw that.
And I was
that
crying.
Was so vulnerable. Wow.
And I was like, no. I was like, people are going to be like, why are you crying on the internet? But here's the thing. I posted that video and so many people said, you know what? Thank you, because I'm going to go make a report. I was essayed when I was a kid and I didn't know that there was no statute of limitations in Colorado. I don't know about other states, but in Colorado, there's not one. They're like, I'm going to go make a report. And it's like, how many people don't know about this and think that their hands are tied and they can't get justice for themselves?
I didn't know that.
I didn't.
So every video you make, babe, has a purpose.
Yeah.
It's going to reach somebody, and whoever it does reach, it's meant for them. And I'm just like, look, I'm over here literally overthinking, posting this crash out, and I was crashing out, but it's going to help you. So here you go.
How many, and didn't that get a lot of views too?
Yeah. That also got 600,000 views. And so that was one thing the officer said. And I was like, listen, at this one I was crying. I was like, it's fine. I was like, I'll stop talking about it, but can I just tell my like audience that you call me and that I can't talk about it anymore? He's like, no, you can talk about it. He's like, keep talking about it, keep sharing your story, just don't use names. That's it.
And you never did.
I
use
never
names,
did.
right?
And I told him, I was like, look, I was very careful when I was sharing my story. I've never mentioned names. I've always been very respectful of that. I was like, if I genuinely wanted to hurt them, I would tell them, like, my audience who they are. I was like, but I've never done that. He's like, okay, doesn't seem like you're making a crime. Keep sharing your story. Just make sure you don't mention names. And I was like, can I tell people you call me? He's like, yeah, I don't have a problem with that. I was like, all right.
Can you hop on the TikTok real quick?
I was like, wait, let me go live real quick.
He's like, do you want me to put your name in there? You're like, officer, what was it?
And here's the thing, like, although he told me himself I wasn't committing a crime, the next day I was still in such a state of anxiety. I was like, no, I have to make sure. I went to the 2 police departments we have here, and I was like, I need to know if I'm being criminally charged for anything. I even called a lawyer. I paid $50 for like lawyer advice.
Wow.
Like, and I talked to a sheriff, and they all said it's petty family drama. They can't do anything to you. He was like, unfortunately, like, I don't know about how Mexico would handle the situation, you know, like for any criminal charges, but they can't do anything to you. I was like, oh, period.
And I remember in that video you said, like, this is how I know, like, God's got me. Like,
Yeah.
you can't.
Yeah, because
take me
they're
down.
literally like trying to intimidate me, like trying to, and because it is intimidation. Dude, going to the cops, you're trying to shut me up.
Mhm.
Like, you're trying to make me so scared of, like,
I feel like that was what they're doing. They were trying to instill fear in you so
Yeah.
you would stop,
And
not knowing that you were
yeah.
like gonna research and ask and, you know?
and here's the thing, I was scared.
Yeah, of
They
course.
did that. They managed to instill fear in me because I told the cop, I will stop talking about it. Just please let me tell my audience why. I really feel like he was meant to call me because had it been like another person, yeah, just try not to let this escalate. Stop talking about it. Stop
Yeah.
posting about it.
Mhm.
And the fact that he said, no, keep sharing your story. Just don't use names.
When you shared that on TikTok, I was like, an Ossifer saying that to you? Like,
Yeah, he was so like,
Compassionate.
Compassionate?
Oh my gosh.
which we lack in this
Yeah.
day and age. We lack a lot of that.
yeah. And I'm just like, oh, he probably didn't even care about my trauma dumping, but okay, period. Like, you know, maybe he's a girl dad. Maybe he's a
Aww.
girl dad. And
Actually, no, literally.
yeah. So I'm thankful that he was the one that called me. I feel like everything, like, regardless of how painful the experience might be, everything is working the way that it needs to work, and everything's just being played. Because it's insane that every single video I've made about this has gone viral.
Yeah.
And it has reached what it needs to reach. And the reason that, girl, it was never meant to be this deep. I was never meant to talk about my essay. I started with like the most basic things, like your tia's calling you fat, your tia's talking up on you. And it's like, these are things that are so normalized in families that are not normal.
Right.
And you'll grow up thinking, well, other families do it. Why am I making a big deal out of it? Because you should make a big deal out of it. And look, when we're young, we can't do anything about it. Our mom's like, no te se queda en casa, vámonos a con tu tía. Like, tú no mandas. And there you go. And then they all bond over like how bad of a kid you are and your grades are ass and like, you know, whatever. Oh, you're this and that. Girl, it's so long, dude. One of my tias would slut shame me. And I'll tell you right, oh my gosh. Okay. Do you have anything else? Or can I go into
No,
this?
girl.
Okay.
Take it. This
Come on,
is
let's
your
go.
platform, baby.
I was essayed by this person. And there was another family member who tried to essay me too. At this point, we were grown kids. I was like 16. He was like 18. We were watching a movie downstairs and another cousin was there. And we were watching a movie and we were sharing a blanket. And he starts trying to like touch me like in my private area. And I was like, I was like, what the hell? He goes, just let it happen. Just let it happen. I was like, no. So I got away from him and it didn't go from like more than that, right? I never said anything about that. And the reason why is because I was slut shamed by this one aunt so much when I was younger that I thought in my head, they're going to say it's my fault. They're going to say it was because of me. I provoked them somehow. And here's the thing. This was after I had already attempted. We got sat down by, I kid you not, 4 tias. Me and other cousins. All yelling at us, going off on us on how bad we were. They were like telling us how, like screaming, like and crying. It got physical. With one of my cousins and someone else, like a tia. But One of my aunts told me, and you guys keep up. I'm sorry, it's a law, okay?
No,
Hold
we're
on.
locked in, girl.
There was this one time where I was downstairs with 2 other cousins and we were sharing a blanket. Nothing happened then, but my uncle came downstairs and he saw us. Never said anything, whatever. So that day we were all getting yelled at. My aunt goes, and you? Your uncle told me what you were doing downstairs under the blanket with your cousins. How, for all we know, you could be getting handsy. So because of that moment, I never spoke up about this other cousin trying to do anything to me. Because I thought, of course, they have this perception of me. I'm going to get blamed for it, right? I've known what kind of people my family are for so long. It was only a matter of me becoming an adult and saying, I don't need you. My mom can't tell me that I need to respect you or even be near you because you're an adult in your family. I don't care for you. And like, these are all things that literally, because of my sister's situation, I built the courage to do. My mom built the courage to do. Things that we now realize are so unacceptable and were unacceptable. And to this day, it's like with my daughters, I will never do, like, if she's being a badass kid at someone's house, sit down. We'll talk about it at home. Because I'll be damned if I ever let anyone have an opinion. Not only that, but like, tell it to her. Like, I'm supposed to protect you. Like, I shouldn't be letting anyone else shame you for anything.
Absolutely.
Not even throwing a tantrum. You're my kid. And that wasn't the case for us, because it's just so, like, things that are normal to some people are not normal. They're just normalized.
Exactly.
And it's not. So yeah, I started like sharing all those little things and then it just went to the essay and I'm like, oh, let me drop a bomb on you.
Yeah.
But no, even that one did really good. Like, me talking about those small things and people saying, oh, girl, I cut off family for just that and I'm the black sheep.
Exactly.
It's like, yeah, because people tell you, oh, you're making a big deal about it. Like, just suck it up. I was like, no.
Yeah, it's because you're breaking the peace that they have. Like, they sweep things under the rug to keep the peace, to be comfortable. Because if they were ever to take it out of the rug, it'd be so uncomfortable for anybody to even work through.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're just like, oh, turning a blind eye. That's crazy. And it is so inspiring that you took a stand and you're like, I don't care who leaves me. Like, I'm doing this for my sister, my family, and my children, essentially. You know?
And it sucks because I had to do it twice. I did it once. And then when my grandma, God bless her soul, when she was like in her final weeks, final moments, everyone was like, oh, we need to get together for mom, like for, so she can see us getting along like one last time before she like passes away. And then bam, like, oh, we're done. And that's one of the things that I threw in someone's face. I was like, dude, grandma's gone. Like, we can't use her as an excuse anymore. You genuinely have to become better people if we want to like actually keep a bond together. And if you can't do that, I'm sorry, but like, I'm done.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but like, I'm not going to put up with anything I think is like for nothing. Like,
Absolutely.
if it's wrong, I'm not going to sweep it up under the rug because, oh, we made a promise to grandma. Like, dude, grandma would hate to see us like this. Are you kidding me? Like,
did your grandma know anything?
Yeah, but I think my grandma was just always trying to support everyone.
Okay.
And
trying to be neutral.
She was like neutral, yeah.
And people got mad at her for that.
So you can't do no right in the story.
Yeah,
it's either you're the black sheep or you're supporting a predator.
Yeah.
I feel like when there's big families, and I'm kind of speaking not from my experience, but like my family's experience, when there's so many people, like so many tias and tios, it's so many personalities. First of all, it's all like the sisters, the brothers, and then all the kids. It's so many personalities. Just because your family doesn't mean you're going to get along, doesn't mean you have the same values, the same morals, doesn't mean you align in the same thoughts. So that's, I think, what is the hard part about that. Like you're saying, like you decided like, hey, I'm not going to do this just because you're family. And I totally, like, I think you're so validated. And I totally agree with that. Like, I don't care who you are. If I don't see that, if I don't align with your values and if this isn't, if I need to stand up for something no matter who you are.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that I said too, where I was like, I don't care if you're family. If your values are like off the compass, is that compass? Yeah. You get it, girl. Tomato.
Exactly.
They're like, I don't want anything to do with you. I don't care if you're my family. Like, if you are a crappy human being, I don't want to be associated with you.
Yeah, I feel like we're breaking the trauma and like the, ¿cómo se dice?
Generational.
The generational curses of familia es familia, and like you have to prioritize them over everything.
Yeah.
It's like, no, if you're being shitty, you're gonna be held accountable for it.
That's toxic.
Yeah.
I relate to you because I mean, I've cut some family off because like and it doesn't have to be as big as something as SA. It can be something just that I'm like, that's not okay, and I don't want that around me or my kids. And
Disrespect.
Point blank, period.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. It doesn't have to be that deep, and people always take it. Not people. I feel like sometimes, obviously, it can be hard for family, but it doesn't have to be that deep.
Yeah.
But it's necessary for our peace and our children and our family.
You know what? If you don't see the problem with small things, people are going to start making even bigger issues for you. And when you can't, you have to make a big deal out of the small things. Because if you don't, you're going to allow more things.
Thank you.
Eventually,
It
they
pushes
build
the
up.
boundaries.
Yeah.
And pushes them
You
until
start
it gets
pushing the
bad.
boundaries, the lines get blurred.
Exactly.
So you, at some point, you have to draw the line. And wow, this is feeling so good.
She's like, I'm so glad I'm here.
Oh, tea. Anyway, no, so with my daughter, if I blur this line, who's to say it's not going to happen to them?
Exactly.
Both my daughters. Like, who's to say, God forbid, like, it's not a risk worth taking.
Right.
No.
Because if I wasn't protected from that, I want to do everything in my power to protect my children. And I do not want them around these family members.
Exactly. And that's it. And you don't have to do any more explaining. You don't have to feel guilty. You don't have to do anything. Like, that is not a hard concept to understand.
Yeah.
I feel like it is so taboo though for older generations for sure. Being like, what? Like, why is she doing that? She's ruffling feathers. Why? Because they're not comfortable anymore and they're kind of being unmasked, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. They're being unmasked and they don't like that. They want, again, the reason for sweeping things under the rug is to keep this perception of a perfect, happy family. It's like, when you become an adult, because when I was younger, I used to hear my mom saying that my tias were talking bad about it. And I'm like, and why are you still talking to them? Right? Again, because you keep letting those lines get blurred. It gets to a point like, and why are you complaining now, girl? You know they talk bad about you. You talk bad about them. Like, people in my family, like, no. And it's so real. Like, one thing I've always said is accountability is such a huge thing.
Exactly.
Look, people in my family have talked bad about me and I've talked bad about them. The thing is, like, it becomes a problem when you do it. And that's when a lot of, like, the issues would, like, erupt. When I'm like, just stop talking to each other. If you can't stand each other, why are you still...
Right.
Why? Because they're family? Like, no, thank you. Like, if I don't like, I just don't like you, girl. Bye. Like, simple as that. But,
Wow.
Yeah.
Caro, you are?
I know.
Wow. Like, I'm like, I'm very, how do you even say that?
I know. I'm speechless.
Too stunned to speak.
Exactly. Because I watch your TikTok videos and I feel like there's only so much you can say in a few minutes. Like, for our attention span purposes.
Yeah.
But you coming here and showing your emotions and then laughing and then you're like clocked in again and you're like, no, like this is real. It's showing that,
serious face.
yeah, it's showing that you're not doing this with any malicious intent. Like, it's not to ruin someone's life. It's simply just to help someone and be the older sister to somebody else. And I think that's beautiful.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, and it's no malicious intent. Like, if these people literally just mind their business, nobody's gonna know who you are. Like, it really is just me sharing my story. Again, if I really wanted to hurt anyone, I'd be direct, baby. Or like, it's this and that. But it really is just like, and even before coming on here, I was like, oh my gosh, like, they're gonna be like, who even is this girl? But don't focus on who I am. Focus on, like, it's the story. It's like, it's like
don't look at me. Listen to the story.
You know what?
Cut the cameras. Just listen to the audio.
Go clean, listen to the audio. It's no, because again, it can feel really lonely when you're the only one to understand that things are not okay. But people are gaslighting you into thinking, oh, they're okay. And then your tias are like, I know, but I'm bien dramática. Y like, it's like, especially in the Latino culture, they're like, they don't believe in therapy. They don't believe in mental health. And again, it's so taboo in the Latino community. And it's not like, it's a very real thing. And things like this are really, I mean, I don't know how many people have commented on my video saying, my tias used to fat shame me and now I don't like to wear any tight clothes. All I wear is like loose clothes. I mean, I was slut shamed, and when I was almost essayed by an 18-year-old dude, like, I didn't say anything. And even then, now as an adult, I wasn't gonna say anything about my essay when I was 5 years old because, again, what are they gonna say? Like, what's the point? It's like, no, girl, there's a point, there's a purpose. And I believe everyone has a purpose in this life, even if it's trauma dumping.
Yeah.
Like, you will never know who's gonna. And that's the thing about TikTok. It's such a beautiful platform because anyone can run into your video.
Mhm.
And then it's people who needed to hear that. It's people who, for all you know, you were the one thing that made them realize that life is still worth living.
Right.
That life is still worth fighting for, despite all the odds being against you. You can be that one odd against all those odds. That is like, out of my way.
Clock
Oh
it.
my gosh. Dude, I don't even know what I'm going to say. If it makes sense, make it make sense. There's this video, and it's like an atom, and there's a lot of them. And then when you put it in there, all the other ones disperse.
Uh-huh.
Be that little atom. I think it's an atom. I don't know, girl. Just be that force.
Atom, molecule, lo que sea.
May the force be with you. You get the reference?
Yeah.
Dude, black people. Imagine if Rosa Parks would have never stood her ground. Imagine if Martin Luther King Jr. had never gone out there and chased his dream. Right? Like, where would it be? It takes one person to help others find their courage.
Yeah, and it takes uncomfortable situations to make a change.
Yeah. And even then, like, obviously it's a lot harder to stand up for a whole community than it is to like go on TikTok and film a trauma dumping video. But still, like, that reference, like, had they not done that, like, where would it be?
Exactly.
Like, not a whole history moment, you know?
Like,
but
so if you don't remember, let me remind you.
Science. Now we have history. Should we do some jumping jacks?
To end off the video, let's
Uh-huh.
do some jump jacks.
my point is, it's scary at the top, girl. But it's lonely at the top, but it's worth
scary.
it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, Caro, thank you so much for being here and for opening up and sharing your story in the most, how could you even say
Like lighthearted way.
Yeah, the
because
most
this is a
lighthearted
heavy
way.
topic, but you and your personality, I think you just help make it not be so heavy. And I think I totally understand you where you cope with like you said, dark humor, and you cope with humor, period, just so it's not so heavy. And I appreciate you didn't have to do that, but I appreciate that because it is a heavy topic and it is hard to talk about. But thank you so much for being vulnerable and opening up. And I know that was like, it's scary going on somebody else's podcast and talking about the most vulnerable part of your life. That is so brave. Thank you.
No, thank you guys for giving me literally the platform. I was honestly like, before coming on here, I was like, dude, I'm gonna bawl my eyes out. Because even with like my sister-in-law, who I'm so like comfortable with, and like we've, like trauma dumped with each other, like sometimes I like start tearing up with her. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna crash out with them. Like, but I held it together. So thank you guys too for being like a safe space for me to do that. I appreciate that. And
we're glad we could be that for you.
yeah.
And shout out to Des. We love Des.
Yeah.
Des, when are you coming on the podcast, girl?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, she's really been like, oh, I can't even tell you. Like, I mean, you guys, we hated each other. And
Can we bring
Can
you
we
guys back
actually, yes,
together
yes.
so you guys
Oh
can
my
spill the
gosh,
tea?
yes, it's
okay.
when I tell you, like, people are misunderstood. I've made that mistake of misunderstanding people. And me and her have bonded over some of the most darkest moments in our life. And the most beautiful thing is that we can be that person that little us like needed at one point.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like, girl, why would we need to get along? Like,
Well, you guys are just testament of how a person can
Change.
people can change.
Exactly.
And if you are willing to see things from the other perspective, it's just called empathy. Like that's
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like you said, being accountable for how it was in the past.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Miss Caro, where can we find you on the interweb?
It's Glimpse of Carolina everywhere. Instagram, TikTok,
Another
YouTube.
club, another club.
Another club. Yeah.
Thank you so much. We'll have all of your information linked in our description box, of course. And just again, like, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your story in the most lighthearted way that you could and helping us understand such taboo topics. And we're just so glad that you're here.
Somebody's got to do it, and you're doing it,
And
girl.
you're doing the damn thing, girl. Keep doing it.
Period.
I have a dream. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks. Bye. Okay, clocking out.
Cut the camera.
Yay Media Group.